Hey guys, so I know I've been keeping all the secrets from you guys lately. At first, I didn't tell you guys that I got the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, and then I didn't tell you guys that I got to watch 30 minutes of Raya and the Last Dragon. And speaking of Raya and the Last Dragon, something else I held off on telling you guys is that, well, along with the 30 minutes of footage, I also got to attend a press day where I got to learn all about this amazing movie. I got to learn tons of behind the scenes information about creating the movie and also the cast, as well as some really awesome plot details. So let's get into it. I'm excited to tell you about it. I had an incredible day learning all about Raya and the Last Dragon, which I'm really looking forward to, even more so now. It's going to theaters as well as Disney Plus Premiere Access. Worth it. I can tell you that hands down after seeing even just 30 minutes of this movie on March 5th. So let's talk about Raya and the Last Dragon. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Okay guys, as we know, Kelly Marie Tran voices Raya, Disney's latest princess in Raya and the Last Dragon. But when asked about bringing Kelly on for the role, director Carlos Lopez Estrada said, Kelly brings the humanity that we were looking for in Raya. She brings the humor we were looking for, and she brings the badassness that this character needed. Just an incredible acting range. You'll see Raya go through it all in this movie. I know I'm excited. So that definitely made me feel like this was the right choice. Not to mention watching 30 minutes of the footage. 100% she was the right choice for Raya. The other casting choice we knew about for a while now is Awkwafina, who is voicing Sisu, who goes along this journey with Raya. Sometimes she is a dragon, sometimes she is in human form. And when asked about bringing her onto the role, the director, Don Hall, said Awkwafina with Sisu was incredible. We obviously knew that she could do both drama and comedy, but it was really special working with her. And her ability to improvise was like another world. We got so much material, but we could only keep a little bit of it in the film. Every recording session with Awkwafina was just a party. It was so much fun. She was having fun and we were having fun. And what she brought to that character, I think Sisu is going to have a special place in the Disney pantheon of characters. Now let's get to the cast that we didn't know about. So Neymari is Raya's nemesis in Raya and the Last Dragon, and she is voiced by none other than Gemma Chan. Now, of course, like I said, she plays the antagonist in Raya and the Last Dragon, and we were told that when they were crafting this character, they knew it was going to be a bad guy, but had to be Raya's equal. They wanted people to be able to kind of root for her, you know? Like sometimes go, oh, I just wish they would get along. And this feeling is always there, and it's a hard tightrope to be on, but you know what? Gemma does it perfectly. Next up is Boone, who's a street-savvy 10-year-old entrepreneur, and Isaac Wang voices him. Now, we were told that it was really hard to cast Boone. They auditioned a lot of young gentlemen, and were just finding it that he's just a difficult character, so they were finding it really hard to cast someone because he's like an adult in a kid's body, but there's also moments of his vulnerability. He's fun and a little sassy, and towards the end of auditions, Isaac Wang came in and just nailed it. I guess they all looked at each other and said, we found him. One of my favorite casting choices is the voice of Tong, who is a formidable giant, this big scary looking guy, and he is voiced by Benedict Wong, who I absolutely adore. I've had the chance to meet him several times, and he's absolutely incredible. I love him in everything he does. So I was thrilled to hear him be a part of Raya and the Last Dragon. And you know what? The directors loved him too. Director Don Hall says he's a force of nature and he's in his element. Every recording session with Benedict was so much fun. Watching him become the character and how he physicalizes his performance and never even wears down. It never gets tired and gives you a different version with each take. He said they generally had to tell him to stop or he would just keep going. And the director, Carlos Lopez Estrada, added, you know, I think it was our editor's worst nightmare because we would come back from recording sessions with like 50 possibilities of every single line, and each one was amazing. And the editors would be like, what do I do with this? Little Noi is one of my favorite characters in Raya and the Last Dragon. She is this baby that is like in control. I mean, she's kind of like a little mob boss. She's got stuff going on, and I absolutely loved her. Now, she's voiced by Talia Tron, and the producer said that Talia's just absolutely amazing. She's actually 14. She's not a baby, but she's such a wonderful actress, and what they gave her was not really an easy challenge. I mean, she has to just make noises versus words and to play Little Noi. But, you know, she because Little Noi is, I mean, she's funny, she's scary, she's good, she's bad, while Talia somehow found a way to vocalize where you feel like you know what Little Noi is saying. So she did a great job with that. And like I said, she's one of my favorite characters in Raya and the Last Dragon. I can't wait to see more of her. Now, Raya's father is named Chief Benja, and I really thought he was great. And I immediately knew his voice when I saw the footage, and I was excited to be right. It is none other than Daniel Dae Kim, who is absolutely amazing. The writer Adele said, "We really wanted somebody you could feel that warmth and compassion with, and yet that sense of authority." And Daniel Dae Kim, within our community of Asian Americans in the United States, has done so much in terms of really promoting visibility for people who are underrepresented. And just him as a human being has so much warmth. And you also can feel that strife. So he was a great casting choice for Chief Benja. And like I said, I recognized his voice right away, and he does an amazing job. I'm definitely excited to see more of him as well. And last but most certainly not least, Alan Tudyk has had an adorable little part in pretty much every Disney movie for a while now. He is what John Lasseter is to Pixar. If you didn't know, he was Hey Hey in Moana, and now he voices Tuk Tuk, which, speaking of Tuk Tuk, first of all, also I adore Alan Tudyk, and if you don't know that about me yet, then I don't know. He's just incredible. His voice is, Ludo in Starverse is the Forces of Evil, but I'm going to stop rambling about that. But guess what else I got to do during the press day? I got to learn how to draw Tuk Tuk. I think I did a pretty decent job. Listen, it's hard to see because it is in pencil. That's not bad, you guys. He's kind of difficult, but he's super cute, and I'm totally keeping this because I was impressed with myself that I could do this. I really was. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about the plot and where they came up with Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, like I said earlier, and as we all know, Raya and the Last Dragon has some heavy Southeast Asian influences. And it was really important to the filmmakers to make sure that they got this right. So, of course, they did research trips and traveled Southeast Asia, brought a whole bunch of stuff into this movie. From the design of the clothes to even like designs in the background, even to Sisu's design herself. Which is really, really awesome. And I love that they did that. They also brought on consultants. So just to make sure that they were completely accurate. One of the major things is, if you guys didn't notice, Raya and the Last Dragon is an action movie. Yes, it is a fantasy movie, but it's not fantastical, especially when it comes to the fighting and the action scenes, the martial arts. So they wanted to make sure that the martial arts actually came from one specific martial arts because as it was pointed out in this filmmaker presentation, sometimes what you get is just a mix of stuff or completely made up stuff. So all of the martial arts is actually based on actual, true, one set of martial arts. And they even had a choreographer come in to make sure that they got it right. And, obviously everyone is stuck. It happened in the middle of March. Everybody ended up being stuck at home and working from home. But they were able to do it with 450 people working on this movie. They did it all from their homes, and they said it actually created such a big sense of bonding and family because they got to see each other's families and each other's pets after spending so much time virtually talking to each other, which I really, really loved. I think that's great. It's a great story. So let's talk a little bit about what Raya and the Last Dragon is going to be about. What's the plot? What's the message? The message here really is hope and trust. That's one of the main things, and teamwork. So Raya and the Last Dragon is set in the fantasy world of Kumandra, where long ago humans and dragons lived together in harmony, but then a mindless plague called the Droon takes over, turning everyone it touches into stone. Together the dragons were able to save humanity, but they did sacrifice themselves. So now 500 years later is where this story starts, and we have the same evil has returned, okay? And it's up to one lone warrior. You guys know who it is. It's Raya. It's up to her to track down the legendary Last Dragon. Make sure they restore the fractured land and unite its divided people, because you see, they have fractured and split into 5 different groups, each representing a part of the dragon. You have the heart, the fang, the spine, the talon, and the tail. And each of these tribes has their own personality and ideology. Now, Raya ends up in this ragtag team of misfits, including herself and Boone, Little Noi, Sisu, of course, Tuk Tuk as well, the Ongis, and, she learns that it doesn't just take a dragon to save the world, but she's had experiences of a pretty bad betrayal early on in her life. So is she going to be able to learn to trust again if it means that she can save the world? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out. A real quick behind the scenes note that I found super interesting during our press day is trust versus distrust. Of course, that is the overlying theme of this movie, and the way that they can express this, not just in the story itself, of course, or the words, is in the angles of the shots, okay? And just the animation styles. So what they told us is the difference between trust and distrust. So if they are trying to give you a trusting scene, they made sure the angles were eye level and there was a broad color palette, a shallow focus, and they had water and steam, which creates a pleasant and calm feeling. If they were doing distrust, they would have deep focus to show off the harsh world. There's higher contrast, stark shadows, lower camera angles. They added in a film grain and an arid look. So you can definitely tell the difference between the scenes that are supposed to be trusting and distrusting. So look out for that when you watch Raya and the Last Dragon, either in theaters or on Disney Plus on March 5th. All right, guys, those are my favorite things I learned from the Raya and the Last Dragon press day. Thank you again to Disney Plus for inviting me. It was absolutely amazing. I had the best time, and I loved learning about this movie that is sure to be a hit in my house. I can't wait to sit down and watch it with my daughters and give them another badass princess that they can look up to in Raya. If you guys are excited for Raya and the Last Dragon, let me know down below in the comments. Also, let me know what your favorite tidbit that I told you about was. I think this is amazing casting. I'm super excited about the plot, and I really love the distrust versus trust aspect. I think that's really smart, and I love when they take things like that and add them in there. These press days always make me appreciate the movie so much more because I learned really everything that went into it, the heart and soul, and learned why they made certain choices. So I'm really, really looking forward to checking this out with my family on March 5th on Disney Plus Premiere Access. Like I said, from just the 30 minutes I saw, I can promise you that this is well worth that price. Or head to theaters if they're open near you and you feel safe. I don't have them open here, or I probably would go choose to see this one on the big screen. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEEKY.